And a fine good morning to you all. Welcome in. It's August. It's technically football season. Yes, you will hear the first preseason Seahawks game on these very airwaves later today, starting at 2 o'clock as the Seahawks are down in L.A. to take on the Chargers. And, probably a little mixed feelings up here in the Northwest. There's a fair amount of Seahawks fans in the area. Justin Herbert, not playing, obviously, still in a boot, dealing with a bout of plantar fasciitis. But his new head coach, Jim Harbaugh, what are they going to look like? Can they run the football? All that fun stuff. So we only have 2 more shows. Next week is a long overdue, postponed family vacation for us that was supposed to happen last year. So I will be completely out of pocket. And unfortunately, I was going to have Dirt come in, have a little Grip City podcast maybe. But he's got family obligations as well. So we will be off next week. And then on the 24th, one final show. We will wrap things up for the season as the PGA Tour, the LPGA. Well, the LPGA Tour goes on for a while. They have a whole Southeast Asia trip in the fall. They have Solheim Cup this year in Virginia before they get to their end of the tour. But the PGA Tour will be smack dab in the middle of the FedEx Cup playoffs and the battle between Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele to see who will be the PGA Tour Player of the Year. Final spots to be determined for the President's Cup team. That will be in Montreal, Canada, later in September. Should be fun. The scramble on both sides, the international side and the PGA side, to lock up the final few spots and the captain spots. So a lot going on. The Korn Ferry Tour is getting down to handing out its first 30 tour cards. We are keeping an eye. Our local favorite, Alistair Doherty, once again in contention this week. We'll get to that. We got a couple of guests for you today. Excited. It's been a while since we've had Jaron Mack, the PGA head golfing professional down at Running Wild Resort on, but he's going to come on as you're looking down the pike here. For a last kind of little getaway maybe, but maybe, flying across the country or getting out somewhere if you didn't have it planned earlier. A little difficult, little challenging. Maybe you've already been enjoying summer and don't have a giant pool of funds to dip into. So you're looking for maybe a little quick weekend getaway locally. Running Y is one of the hidden gems. It is, in fact, the only Arnold Palmer designed signature course in the state of Oregon. We know some of the other great course designers, but it's the only one in Oregon that was actually an Arnold Palmer course. And so Jaron Mack has been down there for a long time. Going to join us, talk about what's going on down there, opportunities to get down. Maybe it's midweek. Maybe you're looking at something maybe in September when the weather September's the best weather in Oregon. Schultze's in with me today. Thank you, Schultze, for saving the show today.
Dude, happy to come in. Happy to allow you to be on,
it's
man.
It's that point in the summer where everybody's off and doing and the last things and the kids and the stuff and all that before we gear up for – and we have football. Once football season starts here, dudes are here. It takes quite a few hoops to jump through to get an extended vacation during football season. We got lots going on. So everybody's getting it in now.
Yeah, they got to wait till Christmas, essentially. That's the next time we'll be gone again.
But you have lived in these parts for long enough. September, early October, to me, is by far the best time, the best weather in the Pacific Northwest. Whatever outdoor activity you want to go do outside of skiing, because there's no snow, it is the ideal time. And so getting down for a little quick getaway, maybe you get the kids back in school and you can sneak out. We're going to talk to the Running Y. It is a gem. So Jaron Mack's going to join us. Opportunities. It's a championship course. They host some of a regular tournament for the Oregon PGA professionals later in September too. And then at 8:45, Jackson Bensel, who's a pro down at Charbonneau. Some of you may have said hi to him during the our Fan Golf Classic as he was helping there collect clubs for the Oregon PGA Club Swap. But he is still finishing up his college degree at Linfield, but he's already into the PGA membership certification program. Some people think you got to go. There's some colleges that have affiliations that have a degree program that's affiliated with the PGA, but there aren't that many of them when you think about it. The closest one here is University of Idaho. The next closest one is UNLV. So, but he decided to go through the process on his own. He played some college golf at Linfield, but decided, no, I'm going to start becoming a pro. He's already working at Charbonneau down there in Wilsonville, but he's still going through the apprenticeship process. So I want to bring him on and tell his story. And for people that want to look at golf as a career, there's several different paths to go through, kind of how long the process is, some of the costs up front that you have to do. There's a lot of concern. I have to be like a scratch golfer in order. If you want to teach, yeah, you got to know what you're doing. But if you just want to be a PGA pro, but maybe on the management side, work on merchandising, being, at a club or at a course, you need to be proficient, but you don't have to necessarily be like have a one handicap in order to qualify through the process. So we'll talk to him at 8:45.
It's my home course, Charbonneau. I'll be
there.
This
you go
week at the driving range, actually.
Fantastic. I was out at my home course several times over the last couple of weeks. Forest Hills is dialed in. It's looking great. Marcus continues to do work. I show up one day, and we're playing out there, and there's two bunkers on the little par 3 13. And then I go back like 4 days later, and he totally took one of the bunkers out. And he's reseeding. It's going to be like a grassy swale protecting the little green there. So Marcus is, we had him on a few weeks ago. He is getting that thing dialed in, redoing bunkers. He wants to put a protective bunker in the front on the short par 5 12. So we'll see when he gets to that this winter. But all sorts of great stuff going on out there. Congratulations. They just had their club championship last weekend, so congratulations out there. And I know a lot of club championships are going on, so congratulations. Member guests also going on as well. So we got a lot to get to here over the next hour. Again, thanks to Schultze. We'll debate with Schultze. We'll see if he's watching the Olympic golf here. Do they need to change the format? Why does Nelly Korda seemingly in every tournament have one hole she absolutely blows up on and takes herself out? I don't know why that is going on. She's clearly the best player in the world, but she quadruple bogeyed par 3 in round 2 and took herself out of this. She just finished up there at -1. Interesting. We'll see what happens as they get down the pike. But as we always do, we start by going inside the ropes.
It's time for an insider's look at the leaderboards, the latest on all tours, plus local golf events and golf news. This is Inside the Ropes, part of Golf in the Northwest.
All right, 4 tours we're keeping an eye on. The Champions Tour is in the Pacific Northwest, their annual stop up at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge in Washington. It is the Boeing Classic. Freddie Couples, the unofficial host, always plays in this. He hasn't played since March, and Freddie's one of those guys, as long as his back is cooperating with him, he's got one of the sweetest swings ever. So, just your typical 2 under 70 out there, having not played competitively in a few weeks. Woody Austin, Stephen Alker, Robert Carlson, Gene Sowers are your leaders at 6 under. It's a bunch leaderboard after round 1. Ernie Els is the current leader on the Charles Schwab points list. He's had some nice wins this year, including a major. He is in the mix, 3 under 69. So round 2 will get going a little bit later. You'll get coverage on Golf Channel starting at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Korn Ferry Tour with 2 more events before they get to their playoffs. 2 more events before they designate the first 30 PGA Tour cards to be handed out. They are in... Let's get the details for you. They're in Omaha, Nebraska, the club at Indian Creek, playing the Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse, a 7,700-yard par 71. Doesn't matter. These kids go deep. They are tearing it up. John Vanderlyn and TJ Vogel, your leaders at 12 under par. These are a couple of Korn Ferry Tour veterans. Both have played over 100 Korn Ferry Tour events. Still looking to get full PGA Tour priority. So Vanderlyn comes in. He's number 61 on the points list coming in. Vogel 125th. Vogel has one career Korn Ferry Tour win. Vanderlyn not a single one. So a win for Vanderlyn would get him into the top 30, probably secure his card. TJ Vogel, it would move him up significantly. Not sure if he gets all the way there. Of course, all eyes we have are our local favorite, Alistair Doherty. He is currently tied for 7th. 7 under. He's got 8 birdies, just 1 bogey. He is leading the event in length off the tee. He's tied for 3rd in driving accuracy, top 10 in greens and regulation. So if he can get a hot putter going here, he needs a win and he locks it up. I think he gets in around 15th on the points list, and I think he finally gets his tour card. A solo 2nd gets him around 25, puts him in great shape going into the final event next week. 3rd, solo 3rd will get him right on the bubble around 30th. So he's starting the week at 45th. If he can have a big weekend, he's only 3 out of 3rd place. That's Danny Walker right now. Trey Mullinax is 4th at 9 under. So if he can have one of those days, go 6, 7, 8 under on moving day, put himself in position, he could be playing for a tour card next week. So we're all keeping an eye on that. PGA Tour has been bothered by Mother Nature. Hurricane Debbie totally washed out Thursday. So they finished up round 1 at the Wyndham Championships in Greensboro, North Carolina, Sedgefield Country Club earlier this morning. Round 2 is underway. They're hoping to get it all completed before darkness falls. Beau Hossler is your leader, 10 under par. He needs to get in. So this is the final tournament before they set the 70-man field for the FedEx Cup playoffs to start next week. Hossler came in 88th, so a win vaults him up around the 50th spot. Billy Horschel is 2nd. He's on the course right now. He is in. He's trying to get his spot up there for the Tour Championship, the top 30. So they go 70, 50, 30 now. They've cut it down. So it used to be 120, and they'd go to 100 and then 70, but they're just cutting it off at 70 now. Aaron Rai, Chad Ramey, they're at 8 under par. But it's mostly about watching that top 70 line. Emiliano Grillo, he is started the second round, projected to go to 71. He could fall out of it. Matt Kuchar needs to win, basically, to keep his streak going. He's the only player since the inception of the FedEx Cup in 2007 to make the playoffs every single season. Had a 6 under 64, but the only way he can get in is to win this one. And so that's what's going on. You're going to have coverage, Golf Channel here with the early round coverage, and then you will get CBS has the coverage noon both today and tomorrow to see how that one's. We'll see if it's a Monday finish or not. They want to get these guys. It's not a long trip to Memphis for the FedEx Jude, which is the first leg on the FedEx Cup playoffs. The Olympics women's tournament wrapping up, and Lydia Ko right now trying to guide this thing in. She had a 5-shot lead earlier in the round, but a double bogey made it interesting coming down the stretch. Esther Heinzlet from Germany posted an 8 under with a final round 66 today. Rose Zhang right now 4 under, 2 holes to play. She is the highest ranked American right now, tied for 9th. But the course that served as a Ryder Cup venue a few years back, serving as a true test for the women. Water in play on 10 of the 18 holes, and they have found it a challenge. This after Scottie Scheffler had an amazing final round comeback, hunting dudes down. That victory, along with his major winning 6 out of 8 in the one stretch, it has pushed him back ahead. There was some thought with Xander Schauffele winning twice, both majors, he might be in position, and had he won, he was in position to win on another Olympic gold. That could have brought into play PGA Tour of the Year, but I think unless Schauffele runs the table and wins the FedEx Cup, wins a couple of the playoff events, I think that'd be the only thing that could keep Scottie Scheffler from winning the PGA Tour Player of the Year award. They will both be on the U.S. side for the President's Cup. That's still to be determined as well. But Lydia Ko right now, 2 holes away from winning an Olympic gold medal. And if she does, she will have then the 27 points needed to officially become a Hall of Fame member of the LPGA. She's won 20 times. She has 2 majors. She's won 2 Rolex Player of the Year awards. She's won 2 VAR trophies as the lowest average score for a year. All of those things equate to 26 points. She would get one for the Olympic gold medal, and that would qualify her for the LPGA Hall of Fame at age 27. And it's amazing to think she's been on tour for 14 years. So she has reinvented herself a little bit this year. 6th on the points list for the CME Globe, behind Nelly Korda, who is leading. Nelly, of course, her tournament came unraveled on the 16th hole, par 3, hit in the water, then scuffed a chip from the drop zone into a bunker and had to play back and forth. That followed by a bogey. Those 2 holes cost her 5 shots and really took her out of contention after she played her way into it in round 2, all 4 knots. So she will come home empty-handed from Paris. So that's what's going on. When we come back, we'll see if Schultze's been watching any of the Olympic golf coverage, if we'd like to see maybe a different format involving more of a team aspect rather than just simply another 72-hole stroke play event. They are going to play Riviera in L.A. for the Olympic Games in 28, so it's a course everybody here is familiar with. Could be a lot of fun, so we'll discuss that. Still to come, we'll go to the Running Y Resort with Jaron Mack at the bottom of the hour, and then Jackson Bensel at 8:45 talking about the PGA education process if you are interested in becoming a PGA member for a career in golf. As we get going here, this is Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Ready to up.
Jason Swigart back here with you on a busy golf weekend. The PGA Tour going to determine its 70-man field for the FedEx Cup playoffs by the end of the Wyndham Championships. The women's Olympic golf tournament is down to the last couple of holes. Lydia Ko trying to hold on to a one-shot lead over Esther Heinzlet of Germany to claim a gold medal. and secure her spot in the LPGA Hall of Fame. Schultze sitting in with me. We'll get to the running wine, Jaron Mack, here in just about 10 minutes or so. But have you, Schultze, been taking in the Olympics? And as part of that, the Olympic golf, it was an epic finish in the men's tournament. You had an outstanding leaderboard up top with all the names that you were hoping to have, and then Scotty Scheffler came, what did he start, 5 back?
Yeah, something
5 or 6
awful,
back, and then just torched everybody coming down the stretch and picked up the gold medal to go with his major and 6 wins earlier this season. But I have said 4 years since they brought this back, I was hoping when they did bring it back, there was going to be some sort of team aspect. We all get jacked up for the Ryder Cup, for the Solheim Cup, how much fun it truly is. If they're going to totally break the schedule up anyway, why don't you do something? And there's been all sorts of forms. Can you do a Ryder Cup event with it? How big to make the teams? Because the most players that can make qualify for the tournament right now from any one country is 4, and you have to be all ranked in the top 15 in the World Golf Rankings. The World Golf Rankings now with LIV have kind of screwed that up, so the best players in any particular country may not be the ones. Like Bryson DeChambeau probably should have been there for the American team, but he's not getting any golf ranking points for all the LIV stuff. I would like to see it be more of a team event. I don't know. I'd love it to be a mixed event. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing, both the tours have their schedules and you have to shake it up. I saw something in Golf Digest or Golf Week that said maybe they do it. Don't mind that noise. There's just massive electrical work being done in here on a Saturday.
Yeah, we're working
don't worry
next to
about it.
Open construction.
Would you do it like the NCAA tournament where you play stroke play, I think, for 3 rounds with your team? Maybe each country gets 4 players in. You have an individual, 54-hole tournament. You give individual medals, and then the top 8 teams with your group scores go into match play events for 2 more days. So it would be 5 full days.
Yeah.
But it would only be 5 full days for, the teams that get the furthest. Everybody else can get on and move on. I thought that was a pretty sweet idea. I don't know what is compelling about Olympic golf other than the actual players playing.
I mean, people actually representing their countries as opposed to themselves. I think that, so when you pull groups together to do that, I would love to see like a twosome or a threesome from the United States facing off, kind of like a Ryder Cup that you're talking about against Great Britain. I mean, Tommy Fleetwood, I think he was beat by 4 shots by Scotty Scheffler, and that 29 that he shot on the back 9 in that Olympic gold medal final round was amazing. Would have loved to see that later this week with like a doubles or a group. And I was kind of, I thought, honestly, just going into the World of Summer Olympics, like I thought that there was like a group golf event. I was very shocked to find out there was not.
No, it has been that way, and it's all every time it comes up. The problem is it's only every 4 years, but you have to plan so far in advance. And with all of the turmoil now with scheduling and signature events on the PGA Tour, and it's also at the time of year where you are over in Europe. It worked out for him this year, but you're coming off of the British Open. The LPGA Tour is playing the Evian Championship right around this time, so scheduling becomes a bugaboo trying to get them back, especially if they're going to be in Los Angeles in late July, early August. Playing Riviera. Now, 1, the course, you're going to get golfers that want to go. 2, a lot of golfers representing their country is a big deal to them. But I just think if there was a team aspect in some possible way, it would add a little juice to it, get people a little bit more involved. Lydia Ko has parred 17. She will go to 18, needs a par to win a gold medal for New Zealand. So she has been the most consistent playing this course over 4 rounds, no question, as she has had a little bit of a renaissance of her career. So that has been kind of fun to see. And so you have a little juice now. Solheim Cup's going to be in Virginia. in September. The President's Cup is going to be in Montreal, so both in North America. There is nothing like those events. The U.S. Solheim Cup team they need to redeem themselves because that was awful too, or it was just last year because they're getting back on the calendar following COVID. So hopefully Stacey Lewis can put together an outstanding team to go with the Europeans. So we'll see. As far as the debate now, is it over? Scottie Scheffler is the PGA Tour Player of the Year, no matter what happens in the FedEx Cup playoffs, or if Xander Schauffele wins the FedEx Cup, maybe wins a playoff event or two. Is there a debate in your mind?
There's a debate, I think, if Schauffele wins it. I mean, yeah, obviously Scheffler, I do feel like, is the obvious number one. But hold on, everybody. I do think that seriously, the last time that you've won 2 majors in a year was, 20 years ago? I mean, it doesn't happen very often. We're talking all-time great stuff here. So I think we'd be remiss to think that Scheffler just has it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And so as we get into football season, whether you are a giant college or a giant NFL fan or just love football and take it all in, so NBC will have the FedEx Cup playoffs down the stretch. CBS starts getting into more football stuff, and they will have some preseason games, and Jim Nantz will move on to there.
They'll have some Big Ten stuff.
Yes, get used to that. Are you used to that yet?
No, not at all. I'm playing College Football 25 a bunch on my Xbox, and I'm still kind of weirded out by the Big Ten, on the Ducks jersey.
Is there any Pac reference at all? What do they have for Oregon State and Oregon?
Oh, they have Washington State and Oregon State it's called the Pac-12 in the game, yes. And so essentially you could, if I wanted to recreate the Pac-12 and just bring all the schools back, I could do that in a dynasty if I wanted.
How much of the FedEx Cup playoffs are you dialed in for, or are you in football season mode?
I mean, it's tough because this has been such a weird summer with the Olympics. I think usually I'd kind of just be leaning on golf and baseball, which is my normal appetite this time of year for sports, but I think I'm kind of just forced into, along with the Olympics, the Ducks moving to the Big Ten. I want to be into it, but I'll probably just be watching the highlight packages, unfortunately. I don't have enough time in the day.
Well, and then the other piece of it is all the talk that they want to go to an 18-game playoff. They want to move the Super Bowl back a week. Now, for years, the Waste Management has been Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
And when the Super Bowl goes to Glendale, then it becomes a complete and utter circus. But, yeah, the PGA Tour now might be forced to, and if they go to 18 games, will then they go, will week one be Labor Day weekend because the players are going to maybe get a second bye week, and they'll encroach on that turf. So do they need to bump up? Do they need to condense it? Do they need to take out some tournaments?
That's not, I mean, that's like giving money up. That's not going to happen, I don't think. But we all are living in the NFL's world.
I know. I don't think
they're going to lose money, but it's not going to be as, I bet you the events that normally had pomp and circumstance in the past, there's going to be like 2 that they just unfortunately will not have the time to do so.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm very curious if and when the NFL gets that, and it's probably more of a when. The NFL usually gets what it wants. It'll just have to spend more money than they would like to make it happen, but eventually they will get it. How that will affect the schedule. So Lydia Ko playing the final hole at Le Golf National in Paris. A par gets her a gold medal. When we come back, it's the business of golf. We head south to Klamath Falls, just outside. It's the Running Y Resort. Jaron Mack is the PGA head golf professional, telling you about all of the different stay-and-play packages, the outstanding Arnold Palmer designed course, the only Arnold Palmer course in Oregon, as well as maybe one of the greatest attractions in the state of Oregon is Crater Lake National Park. They are not far from there. So if you're looking for a late summer, early fall getaway that's convenient, that's relatively close, that's relatively budget friendly, he'll tell you about how to do that when we come back. We are making the turn. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
It's Window Nation's
With you this morning, 8:32. A no sinner in Saint following us. We'll go back to ESPN Radio, and then at 2 o'clock this afternoon, coverage begins the first preseason game for your Seattle Seahawks. They're taking on the Chargers. Mariners and Mets, ESPN Radio's coverage. They will be over on 910 at 6 o'clock tonight, and then here on the Fan 3 o'clock tomorrow. Big series up there in Seattle as the Mariners try to hold on to the AL West lead. But right now, very pleased to be welcoming back to the program. It's been a little time, but Jaron Mack is the PGA head professional down at Running Y Resort in Klamath Falls, one of the hidden gems here in the state of Oregon, and Jaron returns to us. How are conditions down there? How are the wildfires in the state affecting life down there in Klamath Falls this season?
Well, today is not too bad. It's been a little smoky the past few days, but overall, they're kind of east and north of us, so we haven't been affected too bad so far.
No question. Out there at Running Y, down in Klamath Falls, the resort, you guys are proud to let everybody know it is the only Arnold Palmer designed course here in the state of Oregon. And it has grown in, and the course has matured. For those that still, it's one of those places you always hear about, but haven't quite experienced it. What do they need to know just about the course and a little bit of the history of it there in Klamath Falls?
What they need to know is that it truly is, like you said, we don't want to be the hidden gem. We just want to be the gem, right?
Ah.
It's as good as it gets. Southern Oregon and all over, I would say the Northwest. We're very blessed to have Arnold's signature on the golf course. It's a tale of like three different nines. You've got kind of the linksy style, then you go up into the what I call parkland golf, the trees and things like that, and you go back to more of a linksy style and return to Canyon, Payne Canyon. It's everybody's one of their favorite courses they play in the Northwest, and I would like to get everybody down here, and that's why Dom has reached out, and we're doing the Getaway Pro-Am down here this September. It's going to be a blast. 28 professionals, a bunch of amateurs, and it's going to be a good prize purse too.
No question, and I know the PGA professionals here in Oregon love being able to get around to those courses and being able to do it in September. I've said I've grown up here in the metro area. September, early October, I think is about the ideal conditions for golf in the Pacific Northwest. You might get a little wet one day or two, but temperatures are generally mild. You don't get the super heat, cools down at night, not as much daylight, but man, if you can get it out, not quite as crowded, you're not getting delays. How good is the weather in September and October down there in Klamath Falls?
It's as good as it gets, like you said. I mean, we get the cool temperatures at night. You get, 75, 76 degrees during the day. And the golf course, in my opinion, September, October are prime conditions. I mean, like I said, there's no heat. The grass is thriving. The greens are lightning fast in September, October. It's my favorite time of year to play golf.
I think people might think Running Y, it's tough to get, especially weekend tee times. Obviously, that's when it's easier for people to get away. But how available, maybe last minute, you're thinking of something midweek and some of the stay-and-play packages. How far in advance do you need to look at coming on down and playing if you're looking at that?
I mean, it depends on the weekend, obviously. But, right now we're offering tons of stay-and-play packages through the lodge. I mean, you and your buddies can come down. It's like $179 a person, right? That's a night stay, unlimited golf room. We have great dining options. We've got, the Ruddy Duck Restaurant. We've got SO Barbecue. He's fantastic. It's just it's only a 4-hour drive from Portland, really. So it's not too bad. I mean, the bang for the buck is there, and we would love to have more people come and enjoy us.
And also, you guys are not far from Crater Lake, so it's not just maybe you've got your family or somebody that's not really interested in the golf. There's plenty for them to do, and tons of recreation areas and other opportunities. What else is there on property in the resort itself, as well as nearby to get to?
Yeah, you mentioned Crater Lake. We're an hour from Crater Lake. We have horseback riding. We got the miniature golf course. We have a spa for the ladies. We have a package called the Par and Pamper. So you bring your wife down, and she can go get a massage and hang out in the spa all day while you play as many holes as you want. And there's just so much. We've got the caves. Like, it's probably 30 minutes south of us. There's you can go spelunking, down there, looking in the caves. But Crater Lake is really one of our major destinations people come for. And we also have the Crater Lake zip line is 20 minutes where you can go. It's the longest zip in the nation. It's like 1,600 feet. You go like 50 miles an hour on the zip line. It's crazy.
Not for everybody, but yeah, no, that would be fun. We're talking with Jared Mack, the PGA head golf professional down at Running Y Resort in Klamath Falls. As far as the course itself, for people that want to come down that haven't played it, you mentioned now there's 27 holes.
We're just 18 holes.
Oh,
right
just
now.
18 holes. Okay, and so for an Arnold Palmer signature sort of course, what are some of the things that he liked to do in designing courses that make it signature for Arnold Palmer? And then preparing for it, what are some of the local knowledge? Does everything break one particular way when you get on the greens? What are your reference points when you can't figure out how to read a green?
So the greens are what make the course the most difficult. When he designed this golf course, we have very large fairways. The greens they're huge. They're very big. So it was designed more to run the golf ball up. He did lay of the land. He kind of used the terrain. But the greens, when they're running 11 or 12, they're just brutal. And there's no really one. They don't break a certain way, like away from Mount McLaughlin or from Crater Lake or something like that. It's just special. And the people that play it realize it. They always come in. They're like, God, if I could have putted today, I would have shot my best round ever. I mean, that's like all of us, though, right?
Exactly.
The greens are very tricky, very, very, very tricky. But overall, I would say that our director of golf, superintendent Greg Morton, he does a fantastic job. Tony and his crew. The course is always it's always in great shape, even with the heat we've had. We're just getting rave reviews from our guests, and it's been one of our busiest seasons ever. And I want more people to enjoy it. They think it's so far away, and it's really not.
No, it's not. It's a 4-hour drive, and you can go over the mountains, go through Bend, and just head straight south on 97, or you can go a little bit further down and cut across east further south. But as far as the weather that it's been, we know a few years back there was drought conditions. I think this summer has been one of the most manageable in the Pacific Northwest in terms of the consistency of the weather. We haven't had too much extreme heat. We've had a little bit of rain here and there. How have been things down in Southern Oregon to be able to manage it, and how are things overall in terms of the water conditions and in the heat? In terms of long-term care and plan for the course?
Overall, we had a very wet winter. So the water table here, very stable right now. There's no issues with droughts or water shortage. We're able to water as needed. Like I said, my team does a great job with using wetting agents and different, chemicals to retain water. Like I said, the course it's phenomenal right now. And I'm blessed with a great team, and yeah, it's just the smoke. Today's a little smoky, but overall we've had a very, very pleasant summer.
And how long does a season usually go before are you able to play all year round, or at some point is there a snow season where it just gets too cold and packed in and you guys just shut it down for a little bit?
Typically, like I said, October is my favorite month to play. Temperatures are perfect. Course is amazing. I would say Thanksgiving is our cutoff. I mean, we typically get snowfall. It's almost every year. Thanksgiving, here comes some snow. But typically on a normal year, we can play every month. I mean, you better be ready for it, though. I mean, it'll be 38 degrees. Greens will be frozen. You'll be hitting concrete like cement when you hit the greens. Your ball bounce 5-6 feet in the air. But, yeah, we typically can play year-round. Some years we can't, but I would say our peak, you look at May through October is peak, obviously.
Gotcha. And then also, I know you've got a great staff there too. People that are. Do you guys do any sort of clinics, or maybe you're planning for next summer or something? Junior programs to look ahead to take advantage of the facility, but also of the knowledge of your PGA staff.
Correct. So I've got two assistants right now, Jerry and Aaron. We do PGA Junior League. We run all sorts of women and men's clinics and individual lessons, obviously. We have TrackMan, and we also have the GC Quad Max we use. So we do club fittings, and I mean, we have plenty of staff ready to go. If you need help with your game, Running Wide's your place.
Well, there you go. What's the best way to get in touch with you or with somebody to figure out when they want to come down and plan their trip?
Best way is runningwide.com on our website. We have all the information there to book your next package or your outing. You can also call the golf shop direct at 541-850-5580, or you can hit me up on email, JarenM@runningwide.com. That's JarenM @runningwide.com.
Jaron Mack is the PGA head golf professional at Running Y Resort. It's on my list of places I got to get to soon. So at some point, when life dies down, we will definitely be coming down to see you. Thank you so much for hopping on with us. We wish you continued great conditions, and hopefully we'll see a few more people here from the Portland area coming your way.
I appreciate you guys, and wish me luck in this getaway pro-am. I'm going to need it.
There you go. Well, hopefully you're hitting it straight and close to the pin. Thanks so much, Jaron.
Have a good day. Thanks.
There you go. Jaron Mack, the PGA head golf professional at Running Y. Again, runningwide.com. And he mentioned $179 a night. That includes lodging, unlimited golf during the day for you, buddy, if you're looking to get away on a last-minute trip. I know Dirt goes down there, I think, every year with some of his old baseball team friends. They love it. It's one of his favorite places to play as well. So head on down. When we come back, it's time to talk to a little friend of the program. People that are interested in getting into the PGA membership program. If you want to make golf your career, Jackson Bensel is currently going through the program. He's partway through down there as a professional for Charbonneau Golf Club. He's going to join us next, talk about his experience, where he's at right now, what he's hoping to do, and where the golf industry is able to take him at a very, very young age. So we'll do that as we wrap things up. Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Hey, it's Suk. Vulcan Design and Construction helped me turn my backyard into a true outdoor living space.
8:46 this morning, wrapping things up on another edition of Golf in the Northwest. Looks like we'll be off next week. I'm taking the last family vacation of the summer, and then I'll be back on the 24th for one final show. We'll wrap up the season and the year, and then we'll turn it over. You'll have Oregon Ducks football every Saturday as they make their foray into the Big Ten. But joining us now, he is a golf professional down at Charbonneau Golf Club in Wilsonville. He was kind enough to come out and help us at the Fan Golf Classic with our Oregon PGA golf swap. So thanks to everybody that dropped off a club. Some of you may have met him there. Jackson Bensel, still going to school, finishing up at Linfield University, working as a professional over at Charbonneau. But we were talking there as we were having the clubs come in at the club swap, Jackson, and you were describing the process and the decisions that you made to get into the PGA certification process at a young age, gave up playing golf at Linfield. And so just wanted to introduce you to the entire audience and talk a little bit about making that decision. The golf industry, everybody knows, it is growing fast, and they are very much in need of true golf professionals to handle things in all facets. But welcome in this morning. What was it about the PGA process? How did you get introduced to, one, the game itself, but wanting to go down the PGA professional route?
Yeah, well, first off, what an entrance. Thanks for having me on the show. To start, how did I get introduced to the game? I'm a fourth-generation PGA pro. My dad and his uncle, and even his dad, were part of the PGA. They all joined at a very young age, so from the minute I was pretty much born, I was on the golf course. I remember elementary school, getting out of school, and my dad's like, we're not going to go home, we're going to go play 9 holes of golf together. And, I kind of grew up just on the golf course, watching him do his job, watching pretty much that whole side of the family go through the PGA. And once I kind of got a little older and realized what it was, what it took, what it meant to be a part of the PGA, that really interests me. It really kind of set my priorities straight in a way that, playing golf is great, but I want to play for a purpose, and the PGA gives you that purpose. So being able to see past family members or past friends go through that process really gave me a clear vision on this is what I want to do, this is the program I want to do. That's kind of the steps I took to stop playing at Linfield, like you mentioned, and then join the PGA and where I am now.
Yeah, let's tell everybody, you were quite a accomplished junior player, coming up junior things. High school, you did go and play at Linfield. What tipped your decision to decide to get into the program while you were still in school rather than continuing to play golf through college and maybe seeing if you could compete at another level?
Yeah. I think for me, it was more of I want golf to be fun, and I enjoy the camaraderie with it and, seeing people enjoy the game. And for me at the time, Linfield, playing in those tournaments, I just didn't feel the same drive for golf I had, and I always want to love golf. And, that kind of took it away from me for a time being. So I decided to kind of go on the PGA route where, my dad and other people mentioned to me, you can still compete at a high level and play against people that have the same skill set as people you're playing in college. And, it's bigger tournaments. But, I think for me, it's a lot of the social aspect because, golf's a very social sport. You're supposed to go out there, have a good time with either it's your members or your friends. And, you're supposed to grow the game. And for me, that's what I play golf for. It's not to go out there and, I want to win, but it's not to go out there and beat the guys that I'm playing against all the time.
Talking to Jackson Bensel here down at Charbonneau, PGA professional there. Now, you're still going through the program. You have a designation at this point. You've gone through some of it. But for people who are looking at it, whether they're, kind of getting ready to go to college or in that college age, or people that, are not satisfied. They find themselves kind of wanting always to be at the golf course or being around the game in some capacity. How do you get started? Where do you go to find and see if, one, just check out everything that's involved, costs, how much time it's going to take, and then what are some of the things you need to be conscious of if you want to go down the PGM Associate Program?
Yeah, the first thing is you have to find either PGA professional or a golf course that'll help you with it. You got to have some support with going through the program. You can't just be on your own. You have to show your eligible employment at a golf course. And it's even great to have a mentor, kind of like the guys I'm around in this Oregon chapter. I grew up with a few of them, so, they're helping me out going through the program. But there's 3 levels to the program. They give you about 9 years to finish all 3 levels, and you can go at your own pace. But along with doing that online schooling, you also have to pass the player's ability test, which that's the hardest part for a lot of people. You got to go play 36 holes in one day and shoot a certain score. So it's to get into it, it's kind of a grueling process. You got to pass a lot of kind of tests, entry exams, playing ability tests before you can really get into the schooling. So my biggest thing is get some support from a PGA professional or reach out to the PGA and see what they can do for you to help you in your journey.
And so once you get through those kind of steps and you're into the program, and as you meant, it's hard to get into it initially, and because the PGA wants to make sure people coming in are serious about it and want to be PGA professionals. But then once you get in and demonstrate that, then there's a lot of support to make sure you get through the system. But there's several different routes you can go once you get in. Talk about the one you're going down. Obviously, most people recognize, teaching and instruction, that sort of thing. But there's a couple of different routes once you get into the program to go into the system.
Yeah, definitely. There's 3 different routes you can choose, and that happens in the 2nd level. You can choose teaching and coaching, golf operations, or executive management. I personally have chose to go through the executive management path, just because I feel like it gives me the most growth in my future career. I love golf ops and I love teaching and coaching, but my main goal for myself is to either run a golf course or help manage multiple golf courses. And I feel the executive management path can help me the most with that. It's a grueling kind of online process you got to go through, but it's easier than going to the university and going that route. But I think, going through the executive management route, it gives you a wider broadband of connections within the PGA other than teaching and coaching while you're helping one-on-one students rather than working with the PGA itself. So I was really looking for the network aspect of that.
Talking here with Jackson Bensel, just got a couple more minutes. So how far along the program are you right now? How much more do you have to complete to get to the designation and the certification that will then allow you to go search for those opportunities you're looking for?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the whole program takes 9 years. I started about a year and a half ago on level 1, so it's kind of go at your own pace. So I'm already done with level 1. I'm about halfway through level 2. So I'd say I got about a year and a half, 2 years left before I'm a fully designated PGA member and can move on with my career.
And what about, you mentioned the courses are helping you support. One of those is cost. There is cost to this for the courses, for the playing ability test, and some of the other things. What do people need to be prepared for, either saving up or get some support with for it?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you're looking to get in the program, one of the questions you need to ask the golf courses are, if I join the PGA program, are you going to support me, help support it? A lot of courses nowadays will support you because, PGA is looking for a lot of professionals. There's kind of a demand for them around. So they're willing to help fund you. the PGA and Dominic Marconi, who you know, has put together an amazing scholarship opportunity for people in the program that if you're struggling financially, they can help out. But I would say if the golf courses aren't helping you, you're going to have to save up quite a bit because each level is a different cost, plus the seminars you have to attend. But luckily enough, the golf course I'm at has funded me through the entire thing, which I'm super grateful for. So that's one thing I'd look out for people trying to join the program.
For people, pga.org/membership, and you can find out more there. Jackson Bensel, great things are coming. Can't wait till you have your own course. I hope you'll remember me so we can come out and play together. Thanks so much for taking some time. Thanks for the help with our club swap, and we look forward to following you down your career.
Anytime. Thanks so much for having me, Jason.
There you go, Jackson Bensel joining us there. And they are looking for PGA professionals, so if you have a passion for golf and an aptitude for it, it could be a great career choice. Thanks again to Jaron Mack down at Running Y. Huge thank you to Schultze for coming in on a Saturday so we can get this on for you. I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Seahawks coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That'll do it for Schultze. I'm Jason. Hit 'em straight.
New from Pelican Brewing Company, enjoy summer with the ultimate refresher, Pelican Beach